everyone. Hello and welcome to the LovenStamps studio. I'm Meg and you're watching Maker Mornings with Meg on Friday. Usually we meet on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, and I know I said that I was back. I had one last little schedule thing to get done for yesterday, and now really we're back on schedule. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9:30 a.m. Central Time. You can watch live on the LovenStamps Facebook page, or you could watch later on YouTube, or the LovenStamps blog, or the LovenStamps Facebook page. All kinds of places to watch. So I love hearing that you guys are here, so make sure you say hi. Let me know if you're watching live or on the replay. Just jump in with a comment. So it's always fun to have this sort of little LovenStamps Maker Mornings with Meg community so that we can say hi to each other and all that stuff. So with all that said, are you guys ready for a card? I am, and the stamp set that we're going to use is one that I haven't shown you before. It's called Submarine Life, and if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I am all about being a punny stamper. So I realize puns are like the lowest form of humor, but they make me happy, so there you have it. The other thing about this that makes me happy is that it has a coordinating punch, and so this makes for a really quick, easy submarines. You can add them in multicolors. There are all kinds of cute little things that you can do. And I mean, really, like, isn't this cute? Like a little jellyfish wearing a submarine or a snorkeling mask and so forth. Just kind of fun little elements. So it's just the kind of stamp set that makes you smile. And really, we can all use more smiles. I am absolutely certain. So good morning. Hey, Joan. Hey, Tanya. So thanks for saying hi, guys. Okay, so we're also going to do a little embossing. I'm going to show you a vellum technique, and yeah, I think we're ready to get started. So let me switch our camera over. Here we go, and we will pull out our pieces. So I have chosen for our card some shaded spruce cardstock and some blueberry bushel cardstock. And just a word about picking colors. So when I was trying to get ready for this card, I was trying to decide what to use. I figured this shaded spruce here was just a nice strong green and would be a good choice to add here for our background with the sea life. And then having our little bit of the blue here to emphasize the water kind of aspect. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to do some stamping, and then I'm going to show you that vellum technique. So a couple different ways that you can use this. When I was looking at colors for our submarine then, I already had these two colors selected. So I also wanted to add some brightness. And so I pulled in Pumpkin Pie and then Lemon Lime Twist. And I really like how these just have a little extra glow to them, a little extra strength. And they are mixing from just two color families. So we have a really great sort of pre-made coordination already going for us. So, all right, let's pull here our Lemon Lime Twist. And this is kind of as close as I could get to a yellow submarine without having a yellow submarine. Because, I don't know. I mean, you could have a yellow submarine. I'm pretty sure that whoever you send this card to will then have their yellow submarine just running through their head endlessly. So if that's part of the vibe you wanted, then go for it. Otherwise, maybe think about using something else. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp once on our envelope here, and I'll show you kind of how we're going to stamp a little differently when we do our envelope. So the punch is the builder punch. When you stamp on a paper, or when I stamp on a paper, I like to look at how the punch is going to be able to reach in. So for example, if I've stamped my submarine this direction, like I've stamped like this, then I wouldn't be able to reach it with my punch. So do just a little bit of pre-planning can make your life a little easier. Just make sure you'll be able to reach your punched image wherever you have it. And then with a Stampin' Up! Punches, I always like to use these upside down. I don't set them on the table because I don't have so much control over them. So I like to hold my punch in my dominant hand, which for me is right, my cardstock in my non-dominant hand, and slide it in, move it around until it's about where I want it. And the other thing that I do is I brace my fingers on the back of my punch. So yes, I could do this and try to like freehand it and grab it and stuff. But when you give yourself a base, when you have yourself anchored, then it makes it a lot easier to just move this just a little bit and get it set exactly where you want it. So now when I get it set, I'm gonna pinch just a tiny bit with my right hand. So that's gonna trap the cardstock here into my punch. Now I'm not worried about it moving anymore, but I like to use 2 hands to punch. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab with 2 hands now to go ahead and punch my pieces. So if you ever have trouble with the punches, or you're like, how does she make that look so easy? That you can go back and watch those steps again. All right, now this punch has these extra little propellers and periscope here. And so you can do this a couple ways. You can like coordinate your pieces. You can mount them all in one block. So you stamp all 3, punch at the same time, but honestly, they're little tinies, so I'm not gonna worry. I could also just now stamp my pieces here, and of course then I would look at them. So this is gonna be the orientation of the periscope when I punch it, so I would go ahead and stamp it there. But I'm gonna show you another idea, and that is to stamp on your pre-punched cardstock, which is a trick that is super handy and really, really not so difficult. So I actually did this card with some stampers earlier this week, and they looked at this, like we were doing this together, and they looked at me doing this. They're like, it's not gonna work. But every single one of them did it, and it worked great. So try it if you haven't. So I'm gonna ink up my periscope. I'm gonna take my cardstock. Now watch, it won't work now. And I'm going to lay it down on my stamp here, okay? I'm gonna just lay it down. And then instead of trying to smash it, I'm gonna take another block, and I'm gonna use another block to just press down on that cardstock, so that then, oh, see, there we go. I get my stamped image. Now I know that you're thinking, I don't know, mine's not gonna work like that, but try it. I mean, you have nothing to lose, right? So I'm gonna turn this over. I'm going to lay my, you can always punch it again, cardstock on here, and then press it with another block. Now the pressing with another block part is the really key element of this, because it means that you're getting an even impression. You're not rocking it or sliding it or anything like that. So, all right. So we have our submarine pieces, and now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna assemble those with some Stampin' Dimensionals. I find the easiest way to do this is to just layer them down where I want them, and then pop a dimensional here on with the intersection. So it's trapping that little fun piece on there, and then having your periscope or your propeller be right there. So see how fun this punch is? You can customize your colors and mix and match and all the things. Now, for our envelope, we're not punching pieces. You could punch them, but what I'm gonna do is go ahead and stamp, and because I have my photopolymer stamps, I can look through the stamp, look through the block, and see where this is gonna end up, and then I can get those just nicely lined up there without having to work too hard. So you can use this one without punching too. But really, I mean, the punches are so darling. Okay, now we're gonna need a greeting to go on this, and so I'm gonna bring in a piece of punched cardstock. This is punched with the label Love, I believe this is called. Punch, and this one actually comes as a die or punches, so you can get it both kinds. Hey Sue, happy Friday. You can get it both ways, and I'm gonna go ahead and use the greeting just floating by to say hi, because that's just really cute and can be sent for any occasion. So I'm gonna pop that on there, and then we're gonna give that some accents. There are so many cute little elements in here. So this is where my orange is gonna come in. We're gonna have that one little accent color, and I'm gonna go ahead and put some fish on here. They are multi-directional fish, so you can have them going either way on your card. Maybe I'll do one of each actually, just for some fun variety. And oops, here we'll put some fish on our envelope. I just got ink all over my finger from grabbing my pad funny, so the nice thing about these chamois, oh, see, there's the orange ink coming off. The nice thing about the chamois is that you can use them on your fingers to get that extra ink sucked off. All right, so we're gonna add some fish here. We'll add the fish traveling in the same direction as our sub. There we go. Okay, really fun, right? Actually, we'll just maybe multiply these to give them a little bit more oomph. There we go. Okay, now I can close my ink pad. Hey, Becky. All right. So, oh, Becky, you had asked a question about vacation stamping school. Yes, the answer is yes. And I messaged you back about that. So, and if you haven't, anybody's looking for information about vacation stamping school, there's a link in the video description. And it is a demonstrator training event coming up at the end of September. And you are welcome to join us. We would love to have you. All demonstrators are welcome, and you can get more information there. So, okay, so let's come back to our card base here, and because we have some elements we're going to get ready to put on, I'm going to bring in our shaded spruce pad. So we really are using all our, yay! We really are using all of our cardstock and ink colors. So one of the things I really like to do is stamp color on color, and I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to put this under here. Because I like to have some of our plants sort of in a different height, and this is going to end up being covered. So we're going to use both the plant types here. And if you make some a little bit higher in the paper and some a little bit lower on the paper, it kind of evens out. It doesn't really look like you're stamping the same stamp all the way across. So we have our card base, we have our layer here, and now we need our background for our sub. And this is the Graceful Greenery Vellum. I shared a ton of projects with this last month. If it doesn't look familiar, it's because this is probably the part you're used to seeing. And this vellum is printed with the pattern that matches the Seasons of Green and Gold Sweet stamps and dies. So there are these pretty branches here. You get 2 sheets of that. You get 2 sheets of the pine bough branches here, and you get 2 sheets of this vellum here. Now, this vellum was the one that I was like, oh, I'm going to end up with tons of that left over. It's turned out that this has been the vellum that I sort of covet the most out of this package, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to wish I had more when this is gone. This is from an online exclusive, so make sure you check for those in my online shop. The links for all the supplies are in the video description. And I shared a project with you on Tuesday featuring the same vellum. We did this ombre vellum technique with these pretty ink colors here, ombre alcohol vellum technique. So today's project is another way to use this same vellum. So if you weren't convinced on Tuesday that you needed this, then clearly now is the day. So what I want to do is I want to make a background, but I want it to match with our sea theme. And so I pulled out this So Swirly Embossing Folder, which has this really fun sort of psychedelic pattern that you could use for lots of different things. But I thought that these swirls made a nice fit for our vellum here. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this in here, and I'm going to say hello again, come back and invite you to emboss with me so that we can just look at the sandwich here. Now, So Swirly is one of the thin embossing folders, and if you're holding a 3D and one of the regular embossing folders in your hand, you'll be able to tell right away that this is one of the thinner ones. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my die cut pad for the directions here. And what this is going to say on it is it's going to tell me, like, what do I need to use? So there's a message about thin dies, and then there's a message about 3D embossing folders versus standard embossing folders. And it says right here, not sure how well you can read that, but there is a difference between the two. So here is my 3D embossing folder, so that's what it says here. And it shows the big 1 pad, which is this thick one, and the number 4 pad, which is either dark gray or blue, clear see-through, and depending on what generation you have. And that is going to have the top and the bottom with my folder in the middle. But if I'm using a regular embossing folder, which is this one here, it's reminding me to use the number 1 pad, this one, and then 2 of the number 3s, which are the regular cutting pads, okay? Now, there is that other little tiny number 2 pad, that little narrow number 1 here, or sorry, number 2, little number 2, this guy. But this one is not part of my sandwich for a thin embossing folder. So just going to go ahead and pop these together just the way it showed me with my cutting plates on the top and the bottom. So you don't have to memorize this. The point is to let the die cut machine help you. So the directions are printed right there, which means you don't have to really worry about never knowing which part to use. Just read the directions. They're on the pad. Super helpful. All right, so now I have my swirled vellum, which you can see here has this really fun swirly pattern, which is great for water. And so I'm going to go ahead and pop this on here. Now I'm going to wait to adhere this. I'm just going to lay it here just for my own organization. I'm going to wait to adhere it because I want to cover up the adhesive. I don't want to have my adhesive showing through my vellum. And so let's see, I think we need one more dimensional here on the back of our submarine. Oof, these little things. You guys find hexagons in the strangest places? Yeah, they're like always in our laundry and stuff. I'm just not quite sure how they get there. Hi, Mary Ellen. I hope it's a beautiful day in Montana today. So this is actually a little crooked. So I'm going to show you a trick. Here you can see that my tag is crooked. When you're taking layers apart, it's really tempting to want to just peel it up. That is a dangerous thing because what it does is it bends the cardstock fibers in a way that's hard to unbend, right? Once you crumple a paper, you can't uncrumple it. So a much safer way to remove a layer when you want to, especially when it has just one dimensional, is just twist it. So I'm twisting these layers, and what that's gonna do is it's going to shear the adhesive on that dimensional or that adhesive bond so that it really just separates those two without damaging any of the cardstock fibers. So then no one will ever know that you peeled it up. And let's see if I can get it a little straighter the second time. There, that's a little bit better. Okay, so remember to twist your layers when you pull them apart. All kinds of great Stamping 101 tips this morning. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and take this and flip it to the back side. When I have a layer that is so deeply embossed like this, yay for sunny days in Montana. We have sunny days here too. They are accompanied by very, very hot temperatures and humidity for us, but when you have so many ridges here, I really prefer to use my multi-purpose liquid glue because I know that it gets sort of, hits all those highlights there and just gives me a much stronger bond. Sometimes when I use just a regular adhesive, I feel like it kind of skims over and misses too much surface area. So, all right, but that takes a second to grab, so we'll just sit here for a moment. And while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna bring in my transparent adhesive back dots, which are going to be my bling for this card. These come in 4 colors. They're part of a suite, I think like the Market Day suite or something, but from the regular book, the big annual book. But I really love this light green color. It's a perfect lemon lime twist match. And so I'm gonna add a couple of these. So let's see, we're gonna do our slide and stick, and we'll make them look like little bubbles, kind of slide and stick, slide and stick. There we go. All right, so now we have our little bubble elements on there, and we're gonna turn this over and attach this. And then we're gonna stamp a little bit on the inside of our card here. So if you wanna add bubbles to your envelope, of course, there is a bubble stamp here. You could even, you could do a whole scene. So if you're stamping with kids, a lot of times young stampers really like to make scenes, right? Because they're used to drawing with crayons or drawing or making scenes or things like that. So a stamp set like Submarine Life is really ideal for them because this is a scene building stamp. They can stamp the ground, they can stamp the plants, they can put the creatures in it, they can stamp the water line at the top. So if you're stamping with littles, this stamp really should be at the top of your list as a fun one for them to really enjoy. So. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pop this on here, and then we're gonna bring in some cardstock here for the inside of our card. And this is a great chance to use, you know, a different image or something sort of extra fun from our set. Let's see, I think I'm gonna we'll do a real quick version here. So I'm trying to resist. Probably I should get the starfish or something in here because he's awfully cute, but I think I'm just gonna do the quick version here, add some fish from our elements, and then pop this inside. So just floating by to say hi, and a cute inside. And let's grab our envelope here. This card is definitely all occasion, lots of fun reasons that you could send this, and then write your little message for whatever you like in there. So, all right. So what do you guys think? Submarine Life, pretty cute. One of the things I really like to do is send like cute, sort of kid-ish cards to my not kid-ish friends. I really think that this kind of stamp set is very joyful, and bringing a little bit of joy to someone's day in the form of a card is always a positive. So I never worry that like, oh gosh, this is like too juvenile or something like that. I really like this one. Now, for people who are in between, you know, if you're a really cool 9-year-old or really cool 10-year-old and you'd like to not be kiddish, okay, maybe I would be a little bit careful there. But for anyone who actually is kiddish or kiddish at heart, I think that these are really just pretty funny. So yay. Aw, thanks, Joan, Sue, Nikki. So glad you liked this one. All right. Well, I do have something else to show you. I'm going to flip our camera back because I think I showed you the one of these designer series papers in our last video. So I thought I'd show you a different one today. This one is a really cute, this is from the Reindeer Days set. So these are sneak peeks of upcoming designer series papers. So let's get the cardstock here. And the reason that I'm showing you this now is because on September 4th, we have the beginning of this new book. But then B, right now is when you should be signing up if you'd like to get a designer series paper share from the new book, which includes all of the new designer series papers, including this one. So these are 12 by 12 papers, but for the share, the LovenStamps share, they get cut down to 6 by 6, and you get these ready to stamp card bases. So it makes it really easy to build a card. All you do is fold this in half, trim this down to whatever size you want for your card design. I mean, this design right here would be a good one, a 3x4 card. And then you are ready to go with your cardstock and your designer series papers all match. So you know that you will use the papers you get because it's just so easy that way. Let's see, do you want to see one more? Okay, yes, I know you do. This is the Regal Winter paper. And of course it has some great Regal colors and my favorite wild wheat there. And then here are the papers here. Oh, I didn't show you the backs of the Reindeer Days ones. What kind of crazy am I? All right, so here are the Regal's florals, and here are the backs of them. These were my mom's. These are the ones that my mom looked through the book, and she's like, oh, I really like those. So really pretty deep colors. Okay, let me show you the back of Reindeer Days. So right now is the time to sign up for this paper share if you'd like to do these. There are 58 new papers plus 3 shimmer glimmer papers, glimmer papers. And so you'll get a 6 by 6 piece of all those. See, look, very fun Christmassy here. So hi, Unica. All right, so lots of pretty ones right there. Okay. All right, so I think that covers us for today. We're almost done with bonus days. So if you've not redeemed your bonus days coupons yet, please do. You don't want to, don't miss out on the chance to add some new stamping supplies. Even if you're just gonna get like 1 or 2 things, it would pay for your shipping. So that's a good thing to just use it on. And then September 4th, we'll start the new catalog. Anything else for the end of the month? Yeah, links are in the video description for all the fun things. If you haven't signed up for Vacation Stamping School yet, please remember to do so. The 31st, tomorrow, is the last day to sign up for that. And we love to have you join us for that if you're a demonstrator. If you're not a demonstrator and you're like, I think I'd like to learn more about it, let me know and I'd be happy to get you more details. You can always sign up to be a demonstrator. I'd love to have you on my LovenStamfuls demonstrator community group. And if you are a demonstrator from another country, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Austria, France, Germany, am I missing someone? The Netherlands. Anyway, you're welcome to join us for Vacation Stamping School too. It's a virtual event, so you can sign up and use the virtual only option for that, so you can get access to all of the content that we have. It's a full day stamping event for demonstrators, and we cover lots of things we'll be featuring things from the new book, And then lots and lots of tips and ideas that you can use, whether you're a hobby demonstrator or a business demonstrator, wherever you consider yourself on that spectrum, you're super welcome. I think you'll find it a really useful event. So there's some testimonials from past attendees on the registration site. If you click through and want to look at those, it's just a really fun event. We have a really good time together, and it's the 19th annual vacation stamping school. So good times and lots of experience coming in to put that together. So, all right, everybody, well, have a wonderful weekend. Happy actual Friday. Usually we have to say pre-Friday on Thursdays, but today's really Friday. Wish us luck. We have super heat today and our first football game, which means our first marching band halftime performance and a big festival and so forth before that. And so it's going to be a scorcher out there. So everybody drink lots of water and stay safe, and we will see you again on Tuesday for another episode of Maker Mornings with Meg. So happy stamping, everybody. Enjoy the long weekend. If you got some extra days, maybe get some card making in there. Send somebody something just to say hi, right? All right. Happy stamping, everybody. Bye-bye.